Hello and welcome to my channel. So I've just cleaned my neighbor's property. She asked me to clean it. It's about 4,500 square meters of sloping downhill with lots of obstacles and plants. So I used a brush cutter, the Oleo Max 740T, to clean it all up alone. So the machine works perfectly, and I started at 8 o'clock this morning and it is now 4:45, so I covered 4,500 square meters, about 8 hours work time because I took an hour lunch. You can see it's quite sloping up because right up there in the corner is the gate, and all the way back down it slopes. So they think, why not take the tractor? Well, the access for the tractor is very small, so that's a bit touch and go. Another point is this terrain is very steep, even steeper than my property. As such, it's quite difficult to do with a tractor. Also, there are bumps, lots of bumps and sudden drops in the ground. As such, it's hard to see, but there's quite a sudden drop over here, which is really not ideal for a tractor, especially not a relatively narrow one like mine. Makes it quite unstable, and therefore it's got lots of stones here as well, which makes using a normal push mower or self-propelled mower also hard because it's uneven, lots of bumps, lots of stones. Also not ideal. So there's only really one thing you can use, and that's the brush cutter or the trimmer. So it is quite tiring work. I chose to do it today because yesterday it had rained a little. As such, the grass was still a little bit moist, and that helps against all of the dust, as it's all quite dry now. And this should be it for this season of mowing. There's here and there some patches of green. Right down there, that concrete thing is an old well, supposedly dried up, but all around it is still quite green, so it might have gotten some water back. So there is a beautiful view from here. You can really get a nice idea. Very calm. You don't hear the motorway behind, which is behind the camera. There's also lots of plants, grapes, fruit trees, which makes trimming or brush cutting quite a challenge. There's lots of things to go around, and try to avoid cutting down any of the plants. So some of the fruit trees I've seen are lemon tree, there's a clementine tree, orange tree, fig trees, apple trees, walnut trees. There's also some just palm trees. So these grapes my neighbor uses to make wine from, make her own wine. Someone comes and does the wine. So she says she gets about 20 liters of wine from all of these grapes. Although they don't really look too happy this year, perhaps because of all of the up and down of the weather. One day it's 35 degrees, the next it's a max of 25. And if there's any quality issues with this film, it's probably because I'm filming on my Samsung A3 2015 phone. As such, the quality may be a little less than on my HD camera that I usually use. I just thought I'll show you one of the other things that I do. This is the second time cleaning this property. Then it once before the 15th of May deadline, and then after that we had lots of rain, so it had to be done again. On today's date is the 26th of July, so yesterday, the 25th of July, it rained, which is quite out of season. Anyway, I think that covers that. Here's the brush cutter. It needs a service now. Also, here's some unsavory sounds coming from the gear head. So it might be a gear problem or a bearing. I will have to look at before I use this again. Alright. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Enjoy the view.